This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
So last time we got together, we talked about living in the moment, being kinder to yourself, and how important that is. We're going to continue that conversation today with an eye on self-care, self-love, if you will. What does that even mean? Do you practice it? You should. How come? We'll talk about that. She is just a wonderful psychotherapist who is so kind, has so much insight, learned a lot from her ever since we started talking. Dr. Hadass Harel is back on the program. How are you doing today?
I am great, and it is so great to see you, Steve. And what a great choice to talk about self-care. It is just so important. It's just
Isn't it?
such a priority. Um,
Why is it? Why is self-care so important?
because, we can't even say anything without beginning with I. And we tend to think that is selfish, but it's not. We can't do anything in the world. It comes down to the cliche of say we're on a plane, if we're not going to put that air mask on ourselves, we won't be able to save anyone else. And we're so trained to save everyone else before we save ourselves that we just don't put an air mask on ourselves and then we're like flopped over. And I'm sure you've been in the position of forgetting to do that. And I know I have.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Because
not. Go ahead. You go
we are
first.
so trained. We're so trained to look everywhere else and serving ourselves last, by which point we just have nothing to give. Not thinking that if we will also center ourselves first, we will just have so much more to give.
I You don't know it until you know it. And I was that person about 6 years ago. Signed up for a gym. It's 800 feet from here. Beautiful place, huge, brand new. And I would get on the treadmill for 12 minutes. And I'd be like, start thinking, well, yeah, I got to get to work. Just got to make sure, there's no issues, got family support, blah, 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 blah. There was no reason for me to worry, but I would worry. Like, what if this, what if this goes away? What if that income goes, all of that. And then I would leave the gym and then I would go to work. And that continued for the longest time until I started realizing it, had some changes in life and refocused in some areas. And I'm at the point now where I try to go to the gym every day. I should do an hour. Sometimes it's like 45 minutes. But the other part of it is if I don't do something for myself, I feel like I cheated myself. I actually feel guilty in that regard. Like something's off. Something's off. Oh yeah, I need to, even if it's go home and take a walk, even if it's I'll take my dog now that it's warm out for the moment, and just drive 15 minutes, walk into town with him, and that's self-care for me too. And I'm enjoying, the company.
Precisely. If we don't do what we need to do to upkeep ourselves, we are not going to be there for anyone because we just won't make it to the next moment. We
Yeah.
will end up shutting down. We would end up depleted. We would end up exhausted to a point where we make no sense.
Mm. Let's look at some of the reasons why we don't practice self-care. Now, one of them certainly is guilt. Certainly, you feel guilty about doing something for yourself, right? Which is wrong, but why do we
We
feel that?
think good people don't do that. We think it's indulgent. We think that we are selfish. We think that if we feed ourselves first, well, there won't be enough.
Mm.
We think there isn't enough to go around. We think there isn't enough time to go around. And so we really make sure everyone else is listened to, taken care of. And especially with time, we have so little time in our lives.
Why, where does that come from? The guilt, if we feel like we're indulging ourselves, we feel like we're taking time away from others and all that. That's got to go back to
I think
reasons.
we were taught that, and a lot of it it's Christian. It's we were taught that in school, in youth group. It's Judeo-Christian material that we were told that. We were told that in families. All our families said that. We were even told that I'm sure you have, I know I have, not to shine too much, and you were supposed to be excellent, but don't make a big deal about it.
Mm,
Yes, you got this award or something, but don't. It's good enough that you were excellent, but don't be proud. Don't be proud.
yeah, it's so true. It's horrible, but it's true.
Yeah, we all walked around, and I mean, we all have achievements, obviously, but you shouldn't be going around having an achievement. You took it from someone else, obviously. So don't
Ooh.
go around thinking you already achieved something, so now you need to help everyone else.
I never thought of it that way. If you get an achievement that you took it from somebody else, or that's the thought. Wow.
That's at least in my childhood, that's the way it was portioned out. So, like I was good at school, it came easy, and I was supposed to help everyone else after. And
Hmm.
if I showed effort at anything, I was not supposed to show effort. So everything was supposed to be effortless. Now, I was a dancer. I was a very good dancer, but I was not supposed to show that I was training. So I was supposed to go on that stage as if I never practiced.
I find that interesting, and I've never heard that before. Why, what would be the reasoning behind that, or why in the culture that that would be bestowed upon you that you can't be training or working to be better?
Because if you became excellent, and it's the same thing with math awards. I was good in two things. I was good in math, and I was good in art and dancing, which was really and so people thought I was also even though I was good at math, I was also people thought I was dumb because I was a cute girl. So if I was cute, I was also dumb, regardless of being good at math. But both of those things were supposed to be effortless because if you made an effort, then it wasn't really yours. You worked really, really, really hard to get it. So
Which
working
is how you
hard,
excel, which is how you excel.
yes, but if it came by effort, then you're not really good. You tried really hard, and that's how you got it. I mean, that's that we know that now.
Mm,
All those things behind the surface. It's like, yeah, you were not really that good if you worked so hard to get it.
well, in other words, it should come naturally. And
Brilliance should come naturally. It should not, yeah, you're not really shining if it came to you because you practiced.
that's just crazy. Um, I never heard that, but I could see that and fully understand that, that, hey, come on. Hadass. Anybody could just work hard at something and excel. You know, the
Precisely.
dancing, the mathing. Yeah, listen, I
And
could do the
I
same
will
thing.
tell you, I still have that behind the surface because I went to art school, which was a big rebellion. I didn't go to a technical school. I went to art school. I got out of high school at 15 and went to art school because a lot of the things I would have wanted, I couldn't have done at 15. But I worked day at night, day at night, day and night at things. And among other things, I did glass blowing. And I love glass. I love, the way light comes through glass, colorful glass. I'm just enchanted with it by that. And now in Massachusetts, I'm taking every Monday morning, I take a stained glass class. This is my new thing.
Hmm. Good for you.
And so I made a stained glass feather. It is lovely. It's exquisite. It's crooked because it's my first endeavor at cutting glass, putting it together. It's soldering. It's not welding, it's soldering.
Mhm.
But it is so pretty. And my first project, I was not that good. I had to work really, really, really hard to cut the glass because my hands are not that strong. And I had to learn how to master the instruments. And I kept thinking, and I told everyone who would listen to me, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. And it's not that I wasn't good at it, it's that I had to master how to use the tools. So in my head, I'm not good at this.
Well,
So I
some
have this adorable feather. It's about this big. It has reds and greens in it, and you should see the thing in the sunlight. It's exquisite. Um, and it's really artistic because it's not confined to the shape. And once the instructor comprehended that I'm not confining to the shape, I'm going for the color. Now I'm making another scene. It's a sunset over a field. It has a lot of pieces. And now I know how to cut. So now on that piece, which only had 5 pieces, I learned how to cut. Now I'm good at it. But the whole idea of mastery went right back to my childhood, and I was very disturbed about showing that I'm bad at cutting and I don't know how to just wave my hand because there are guys in the class who their fathers were like glassmakers. They were working in a factory. They took them to the factory when they were little, and they're coming to class because they want to bond with something that their dad did with them. And they're stronger than me physically. I'm a girl, I have weak hands. And so I was so upset with myself. I was just like, I will never master this. I will never be good at this, but I want to do this anyway because I love glass. I love the colors. So I was my self-talk around this. It was really funny. I was reconciling to I will always be bad at stained glass.
but I wanted to say this. Hasn't it been proven, or many believe, that if you're negative or telling yourself you're not good at something, you're not going to be good at
You
something?
may never be good, but because I was honestly, it took me a long time to learn to cut the glass while talking very, very persistently about it may take me longer than other people, and I was annoying. To me, I was annoying. Everyone who would hear me, I was talking about my weak hands, and my hands, are not as strong as a guy
Well,
who.
Hadass, why are you being negative about it? Why would I then enjoy the moment,
But I
embrace it?
was because all my training from childhood, where you are supposed to be a shining star effortlessly and born with it, came to the surface and really
Okay.
revealed to me
Yep.
I needed to understand this mindset.
Fair enough. I get you now.
I needed to understand this because it was not visible to my eye. This was something I needed to understand
Hmm.
because I needed to see that 2 weeks of practice in the studio made me actually excellent.
Got it now.
I
And
completely didn't realize that all the stuff that I'm actually really good at, like metal work, and also because in the past, this is many years ago, now I'm dying to do this, but I have blown glass pieces that won awards when I was young, but they had a lot of effort put into them.
yep.
I spent hours in the glass studio enjoying learning how to do this. It completely escaped my mind that the reason I got very, very good at stuff was because I put a lot of time and learning. And that's the thing. The reason you become an exquisite crafts person and really learn how to work with material and really learn to bond with something you love to do is that you put your time and love and effort into it.
Yep.
And if you are going to be really shining at something, it's because, I mean, just like you and I do at the gym, I spend probably as much time in the gym as you do. And there are things I love doing there that I consider myself very good at because I've done so much at it. And so when I meet a friend who wants to learn how to do it, I'm like, yeah, 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 let me show you. Because I love it. I do a lot of it. Me and that machine are like that because I've been there so much. This is my joy to be there.
I can relate to your art journey because when I was about the same age, 15, I was drawing cartoons. I always wanted to be a syndicated cartoonist. I started drawing way before that,
Yeah.
but got to the point where I was in high school and my cartoons would appear in the school newspaper. And it was like a legit newspaper, tabloid, real newsprint. It was like cool. It was like look real. And I eventually, well, let me back up. I had a teacher in 11th grade and I was doing a painting and still remember fall scene, just a old barn with wheatgrass leading your eye to the barn and the fall colors around it. I just couldn't do
Oh,
the,
Steve, I can see it. I love the way you describe it.
I
I'm
still
just
have it.
seeing it.
I still have it.
I
And
love it.
I couldn't do the sky. It wasn't coming out right. It just wasn't looking. I got a little frustrated and the teacher came over, remember that day, and she takes the brush and she just goes and look great. And she says, "You know what you are? You are an underachiever." And it was just like, I never forgot that. And the following year, I was voted class artist. And, but I will say this, what you're saying here, I worked hard at it. I didn't just like draw and
Precisely. And you learned how to use touches, brush touches
all
and
of it.
color and the joy of really getting familiar with how to do it.
But here's the challenge with myself, maybe you, definitely many of us. I was a perfectionist. So I would draw something and look at it and say, no, crumple it up, throw it out, do it again. And I would spend hours. No, not good enough, throw it out. If you looked at it, you would say, Steve, what's the difference? These all look the same. But I would see it differently. I have let that go. I have abandoned that as much as I can in terms of the perfectionist part of me. Um, but all of it didn't come easy. So I see what you're saying. It's unfortunate that in some ways in society, we can't work hard at something. Listen, I don't feel I can dance. Stained glass, math. Let's go with math. I'm horrible at math. Could I do well at it? If I applied myself, I would think so. I don't have the passion.
Or if someone taught you in the way that you learn. And this is something I
Yes.
know something about because with a lot of my psychology clients, actually, um, I end up also teaching them a little bit of math because they need it, whether it's for school, whether they are stuck with it, for the PhD and they need to do statistics. I end up sitting with them. Everybody learns differently and they're stuck for a reason. They're stuck at the point where someone tried to teach them in a generic way and
Hmm.
not in the way that suits them. We all think a particular way, and we all need to be taught the way that our mind comprehends it.
I completely agree with you. However, you have to have a passion for it. I don't have a passion for dancing. It doesn't, I'll go to a place with music and move my own way and I'm feeling it and it's all good. And I think freestyle, I dance pretty good.
But
But
you connect with music.
I do. I do. So yeah,
Music and the rhythm and the emotion of music, and that's great. I mean, you don't have to
but
move to it, but you and music are very connected.
but ballroom dancing or some kind of where it has to be done a certain way, that's not me. Same thing with math. I don't care. I just don't
And it's
care.
not a necessity. We don't have enough time in our lives to do everything.
But if I needed to, if you told me right now, listen, you need to learn math and be at a certain level, it's critical
Or
for.
if you had an achievement where you required to do a little bit of math and you couldn't get through that eye of a needle without a little bit of math, and you were like, I have this roadblock,
Mhm.
then you could get through it. And if you
Yes,
had as an obstacle and you needed a little bit of help, then if someone understood how you think, they could get you through it.
I completely agree. And I think that applies to most everything, but you have to want it. Same
Or to
thing.
need it, you have no need to do it. But if for some reason you needed to do X amount of math in order to get through that, you would.
Absolutely. And it's also the same thing when we talk about healing. We all have traumas from the past. We all, listen, somebody could go to you for therapy. And if they're not ready to heal and ready to open up, it's not going to work. It's not going to work the way it should because they're not, it's not their goal.
People come to heal what they need to heal. People come for different layers of therapy.
Sure.
People may come and heal some layer when they're 7, and another layer when they're 24, and another layer when they're 40, and another layer when they're 70.
Yep. Yeah.
When it becomes a stumbling block in their lives, that is the time to pass through that gate. They may bring something that actually has to do with a previous life, if you believe in that,
Mm-hmm.
or they may come with a birth trauma, or they may come with a trauma that actually didn't happen to them, but in their parents' generation. And they will process that as long as it's a stumbling block in their progress. This is what we will work on. And what is an indication that therapy is a success is that there will be a discernible relief in their everyday life.
Mm.
And at that point, we may continue the alliance where they come by and they tell me what they're doing like once every few months, but they don't have the same intensity of, I'm on fire, help me. Because they don't have a block that is disturbing their daily existence.
But when you say, even if you have the block, you recognize it, if you are not truly open to healing, you're not going to get the
And
same
that
result.
is the question of therapy. If someone comes to me, I am blessed that people only come to therapy with me when they want and need to, which means that that creates an opening.
Absolutely.
So if we discern that they are stuck, then that is the therapeutic question. Why are you coming to me feeling that you really want to work on something, and yet you are stuck? So if you came to me wanting and needing a therapeutic intervention, but you are stuck, then you are conflicted within yourself. Then let's figure that out, because otherwise it's not me that is fighting with you, it's you that is fighting with you.
Absolutely.
Then let's create a container around this, and you and me join together around the container. Because as a therapist, I am never in a clash with my client. It is me and the client that are holding the vessel together. We are always allies. And so let's hold it and kind of look from above at the thing and try to figure out, why are we in conflict? What is the block serving? Do we want to bury it for an additional period of time because it is not ready? Do we want to, throw some fertilizing at the issue and let it percolate?
Hmm.
Or are we protecting the secret for someone else? Maybe you think you're ready, but really not looking at it is protecting the honor or the dignity or the well-being of someone else. Maybe it's not even yours. Sometimes the therapeutic intervention will release you, but it's not only your secret to keep.
And
So
there's
maybe
so many reasons for that. And I have to believe it's almost like when you have a jar and you can't open the jar, and that's the box that somebody may be holding.
precisely.
And what do? You sometimes you take a fork or spoon or whatever and you tap the top. So you could be doing that too, just tapping the top. So when it's ready to open, it will
It will
open.
open so easily, but
Yeah,
sometimes when we're talking about something that has to do with previous generations, you need to
yeah,
go up there and you need to ask permission
yep.
of someone in heaven. Sometimes you literally have to, and that has happened so often, where a client has to go to living family members, siblings, senile uncles in nursing home and say, I am going to tell what happened to a therapist, but that's as bad as telling it to the FBI.
Well, in their mind, when it stops with you.
In their psyche,
Yes.
that feels like telling it to the FBI because it will become known.
Well, yes, but everything is confidential when somebody is with you. Um,
Precisely. I
yeah,
mean, that's how the whole priest scandal, that's how it started, by a few people telling it to therapists. And ultimately, it came all over the country and the
yeah.
world. But I'm saying it sometimes means that someone is going to a cemetery with or without flowers and saying, I am telling.
Well, you mentioned other lives and things like that. Maybe we could talk about that in the future. 'Cause-
Absolutely. I think when we're talking about setting themselves free from burdens, I think that would be
hmm,
really
hmm.
a very illuminating
Yeah, I had
and
a for the first time ever a few months ago a past life regression under hypnotherapy. Well,
yes.
and for another time. We're out of time. How do we connect with you, Hadass? If somebody, if this resonates, they want to maybe start opening up a little bit, how do they find you?
I just wanted to mention that I do past life regressions,
Oh,
and
okay.
we can even have a meeting talking about that a little bit because it's very interesting.
Yeah.
So 508-631-7645. 49 is a number that you can get me even on WhatsApp. And in addition, I just wanted to say I work on BetterHelp, which is accessible all over the country. But they also just came up with a brilliant thing that they completely take health insurance now. That just happened last
Wow.
week.
Wow.
So people can pay that with their health insurance, which is a big, up to now, it was only out of pocket. So
Beautiful.
that's a little bit cool.
Yeah. Well, good. Hey, that's good news. We'll take good news anytime.
Yes,
Thank you for today. Thanks for the insight. Self-care, everyone. Don't feel guilty. Do it.
very much.
It's for you and everyone else. And we'll catch up next time.
It was so great seeing you. Take
You too.
care.
We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.